few years ago, I forced myself to have a pretty uncomfortable conversation with one of my brothers after a long season of feeling pretty undervalued in conversation with him. And since I've had this conversation, I've realized it's a pretty common thing that happens in a lot of friendships and relationships. And basically our problem was whenever we would get time together, he would spend most of the time talking and sharing stories. He traveled a lot. He literally was traveling the world for years. And so he had all these amazing stories and genuinely cool interactions with people all over the world, things that I was interested in. But there had started to be a trend of him mostly talking the entire time and me just being like, that's really cool. And then him not having a ton of interest in what was going on in my life or asking questions to find out what was happening in my life. And there was just an imbalance there. The thing is, I knew that he loved me a ton. Like, I know that he cares a lot about me and he really values my friendship. And so I just decided at one point that I trusted him enough to have the conversation to ask him if he would be interested in hearing a little bit more about what my experience was and the problem that I was having. So I sat him down one day and I was really nervous. I remember like my hands shaking a little bit because it's like, you know, this is a friendship that I value a ton. This is a person that I care about and I'm feeling frustrated by, and I don't know if he's going to just double down on his stuff and be like, screw you, I'm just going to keep doing my thing, or if he's going to listen. So we had that conversation, and I will say it is probably the defining moment of our friendship from the last 3 years. Because since then, it's like he's totally integrated that into our friendship and has become a master question asker, a master at being interested in my life, having an awareness of how much he's talking versus how much I've been talking. And he's even brought some of that energy into other friendships in his life. So if you're listening to this and you have a friendship that feels similar, where you are interested in the person, but it just seems like they're not responding with a ton of curiosity or interest in your life, there's two options there. If you trust the person enough and think that they value your friendship enough, it's totally worth it to have that really uncomfortable conversation and say, hey, look, I want this friendship to be strong. I want to enjoy this, but right now there's this pain point and it's making it hard for me. The story that I'm telling myself is that you don't care to hear what's happening in my life. And you give them this opportunity to respond to you and say either, yeah, I don't care about it, or actually I do, and that really bums me out that I've been missing out on hearing about your life because I'm not asking enough questions. So you can go that route, or if you don't have trust for the person and they're a friendship that you feel okay with letting go, you can just tell the person, hey, I don't feel like this is a well-matched friendship and I'm just going to go look for friends in other places. Or you can just slowly set up some boundaries there and, you know, you don't have to necessarily have a conversation, but just